Hello and welcome back to Spirit Mom. Today at Spirit School, we're going to discuss the idea of religion and where we belong. What does our growing spiritual beliefs mean for us? Are we still teetering on perhaps being an atheist? Do we still feel attached to a religion we grew up with, a denomination, a figurehead that's above us that we feel that we owe them our worship? Let's think about this. When you work on a project with friends and you all study the same subject but come up with different ideas, sometimes your theories are not all 100% on the money, but sometimes it's close. One person could be right about something you were wrong about, but you could be right about something someone else was wrong about. In a big group project, people are going to come up with different things on the same subject. This group project is the world and God. The world and God and creation and the universe. And each person in the project is a different member of the human race. So think about this. Each country is a different student in the project, and they all came up with different ideas on the same subject. That subject being God and the universe. So now what? The project is coming due. It's time for us to all sit together and show our work. Everything is coming together. We're weeding through what we think was right and what we think was wrong. Like little Timmy, which might be Africa, had this and this right, but little Stacy, who's America, had that and that right. We're working together equally to set forth our future using the research done by the class over the last 10,000 years or more. Now, I mentioned before, and I didn't make this up, but I've heard that God came down and spoke to each nation what that nation needed to hear to form their own spiritual beliefs. And humans came along and twisted a lot of it, but you can find the meat and the essence of it in there when you dig through to it. And we all have different things that we resonate with for spiritual beliefs. Like I've said before, like specifically, I resonate with Buddhism. I resonate with Jesus, though not strict, twisted Christianity. But there's sects of Buddhism that twisted things. And Hinduism, I really resonate with like the yogi philosophies, like, and has its own, like the Vedic traditions that has all these subsets in it. But then they have like thousands of different things that I don't resonate with all of that. The Native American beliefs are amazing, and their way of doing things were great. Not just Native Americans, Native in general, like Aboriginals, they were beautiful and just lovely, but I don't get why they never made houses. And I guess that's taking them away from nature, and it would probably taint their beliefs to begin with, like it probably did ours, so that's probably their reasoning. But you know what I'm saying? We're coming together in a project. We're saying, I like what you did here. I like what you did there. I like what I did here. Now let's bring it together. And we're not making things up. As a collective consciousness, we kind of almost do create our own God figure. And we would make like a life, an entity. Like we can make elemental beings in our own minor emotions. Think about what we could do as a collective consciousness. Not that we need to come together and make a God figure, but if we came together and decided on a way to focus our energetic energy, it would be profound. It would fix the earth like that overnight, literally. If we all decided on this is the way, it would happen. That's just the way things work. Because one thing we are heading into is our new religion, which is fitting into all the other religions. And you're kind of like, oh, I get why you said this here. I get why you said this there. But they were actually a lot more poetic back then, probably because their souls understood something their minds weren't ready to understand yet, and that is quantum physics. We are heading into a quantum, I don't want to say religion, but a quantum belief system, a quantum way of thinking and living and doing. Like even the Hermetics with the law of vibration and the all is mind. That is probably the best olden day religion. But that even quantum physics, I think, is finally not outdoing it, but explaining it perfectly. Although the Hermetics, if you ever read the Kybalion, woo, they got it the best, like just done, right? Where the others, you have seeds that you can pick, and their way, especially Buddhism, their way of living is beautiful and you're going to have a good life. But for those of us that want to, I'm one of those people, I want to know the universe. I want to know everything. And I don't, if that's wrong, that's what I want. I want to know everything. And I want to teach you how to do everything, like how to create reality, how the universe was made, what's above in the higher realms, what's below in the lower realms. There's just so much for us to know, and I want to know it. I think we can all learn this stuff, but we all resonate with different ways that it's brought to us. This is why I think there's so many different religions, because we like to learn things in different ways, and that's okay. And there is lots of different things. Like in the higher realm, like we think there's a lot of humans. In the higher realms, there's lots and lots of things. So people that are worshiping all these different angels, there is lots of different angels. But ultimately, we do all come up to the one all. There is the only one all that makes, like, the mind, making the vibrations, making all the different entities and realities and dimensions and universes. They all stem from that original mind, and we're all a part of it. And when we learn to tap into that quantum field, that energetic space, that every religion has a different name for it. Like in Buddhism, they call it the Buddha mind. In Christianity, it is the Holy Spirit, especially if you get into Pentecostal churches, they're all about the Holy Spirit. And they all have these different places where, like the Hermetics, it's just the all is mind, the mind of the all. Like, you're tapping into all these different, what I am now calling quantum field, because essentially if we're mixing the spirit and the science as with our generation, like we just came from the age of rationalism. But I think that was just to help us, maybe to force us, because sometimes the universe makes us go through hard times to birth out a better situation in the end. So we went through that very atheistic time to come through and combine the science and the religion together so that we can see scientifically why spirit is real. And that we are seeing in quantum physics. We are getting down to the subatomic level, to like below the subatomic level, which is energy, and actually being able to see the subatomic particles going in and out of time and space. And they can see our neurons going in and out of subatomic space, like in and out of space. They could see it just boop, boop, boop. That's intense. So when I've had episodes before where I talked about how things can come through us and we get thoughts from things walking through us. Well, another way, like the downloads, this is and then how we get thoughts from downloads, these neurons going in and out of our minds is showing in this scientific way, I would assume, how those thoughts are literally getting into our physical brains. Like energetically, our energetic body is going through similar but not the same things as our physical body. So the neurons going in and out of time and space is the physical way of showing the manifestation of us connecting with spirit and getting downloads or talking to beings. Like, for all we know, our spirits are sitting there chit-chatting with grandma right now as our physical body is doing this. Like, when we start to move towards studying the quantum realm, we are going to learn and experience more and more actual things. We'll be able to explain it, to be able to tell your neighbor, your friends, like, oh yeah, well actually, blah, 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 blah. So they're not just like, okay, woo-woo lady, go talk, or sir, go talk to your angels some more, you know, or whatever it is that you really dig into, because we all dig into different things, and that's okay for us to pick an element that we want to, assuming it's positive, that we want to really sink our teeth into, because whatever resonates for us is what's going to be best. Like how I've talked recently about the praying and the bargaining and helping it narrow in our manifestations, because ultimately we are the mind of the all, and we do want to help other people and stuff, but all we can control is ourself. So using different tools to focus us in is great, and it does actually become real, because everything is real in different realms and dimensions. It's all real. It's all already existing. When we get a thought, it didn't come from us. It's that those neurons coming in and out of space and bringing it to us. Another interesting fact, if you ever heard like the fight between who invented the telephone, think about it. They both did. They all did. I think I've heard of like at least 2 or 3 different people that invented the telephone at the same time, and they have this war. No, they stole from them. They stole from them. Their location and given the time it was invented, there's and just past experience, because this isn't the only situation of this, but it's the most powerful that I've heard, that they both got the download. Like upper level stuff, upper dimensions wanted us to have the phone, but just like they probably want us to have the internet so we could start speeding up our evolution. So they gave a few people the download of the phone, and whoever got there first, great. They don't care who actually gets the credit for inventing it. They just wanted us to have the telephone, just like they wanted us to have the internet, and they want us to move towards being telekinetic. They just need us to move forward. We're a very important project, and people debate on why, but I think that it's pretty clear, maybe it's my human vanity, that humans are a project. I think it's the combination of physical and spirit. Spirit wants to be physical, so they want to bring it together, but they still want the benefits of the spirit with manifestation and telecommunication, but they don't want to just sit around in a physical body and just, you know, but they want to be able to touch and feel things and do things, right? So this is us creating that quantum religion so we can be spirit and body together. It's time for us all to come together, all the different religions, sit at that metaphorical table like the children with a school project. Let's hand in our work together and let's decide on which is best. We don't have to completely agree. People can keep and lose whatever they want, but if we brought together